everybody. I hope you've had a lovely half term and that you've all had lots of fun. Today we're going to be looking at a story in our English. So far we've done a lot of non-fiction work, haven't we? And all of that work then came to our fantastic report writing at the end of it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go back and have a look at some fiction around our topic. So today, and for a couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at the story The Rainbow Bear by Michael Morpurgo, which is a really lovely story. It's got lots of lovely language inside it. So the first question I'm going to ask you, that I'd like you to write a sentence about on the sheet that I have made for you, I would like you to predict for me. I want you to predict who you think the main character in the story is. Okay, and why do you think that? So we're using our inference skills as well as our prediction there, because we're saying what we think we know and why that is from what we can see. Okay, so what we can see is there is a polar bear, and we can see that the title of the story is called The Rainbow Bear. So that might help you to make some inferences and make a prediction about who this story might be about, who is the main character. Then the next question then is, where do you think the story is set? Where do you think this might be? Could it be the Antarctica? I'm not sure it can be that, because there is a polar bear in the picture, and polar bears aren't found in the Antarctic, are they? So maybe it's not, maybe it's somewhere else. Whereabouts do we know where polar bears may live? Where is their habitat? So have a think about what you know, what you can see in the picture, to help you to decide where it might be. Is it in the desert? Well, we know it's not in the desert because we can see this big ice shelf here, can't we? We can see a great big iceberg over here, and we can see the sea and the snow. So all of those things that we can see are going to help us to make inferences on where we think that this story is set. So I'd like you then to write a sentence to answer that question. Where do you think the story is set, and why do you think that? Okay? Then the next one. Why do you think this story is called The Rainbow Bear? So now you're going to have a really good think about what might actually be happening in this story. Why might it be called The Rainbow Bear? Think about what you know about polar bears, what you've learnt about them. Think about the fact of what the title is and the pictures that you can see. So use what you can see and what you know already from our topic to help you to have a little prediction, make a prediction about why you think this story might be called The Rainbow Bear. And I'd like you to write it down and tell me why you think this story is called The Rainbow Bear. And then the last story is, does this picture on the front cover remind you of any other stories that you know? So it might be a story that has a similar setting, it might have a similar character, it might have something to do with rainbows in it. If there are any stories that this might remind you of, then write those down as well and explain why they remind you of that story. I think this one reminds me of I think it reminds me of stories about, I think it's about a penguin called Lost and Found, and that's only because it's the same sort of setting. It may not be the same places where a polar bear might be, but in Lost and Found, the penguin comes from the Antarctic, which has also got a lot of snow and ice, so it's made me think about that. Is there anything this story reminds you of? So you could write that down and explain it to me. Okay, so they are your jobs for today. You're going to have a really good look at this front cover, and then you're going to answer those questions for me on a sheet that I've provided. And if you'd like to from then, I have put in some photographs of the first few pages of the story, so you can always have a little read over those and then we will look at it together later on in the week to do the next task. Okay, take care then everybody, bye bye.